recording. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to do our D&D session 2 tonight. That is in the campaign Perception is a Matter... Wait, no. Of Perspective? Or is that backwards, guys?
That was correct.
Okay, great. Then that's what we're doing. And we have changed up the screen. So here you can see Gil, our DM. We can see Geo right here. Geo, wave for us, please. Thank you. We can see Dwarf or Levi.
Yeah, Gil's that way. My bad. Yeah, that's me.
And we can see me. And then, of course, Brakud is a dark, scary box. But we're gonna fix that soon.
I'm a turtle.
He's a camouflage turtle. And so
we need a picture of a turtle that you can
we do
share
need a picture
with us.
of a turtle.
That's what I tried to do, but the screen sharing made the whole thing go weird.
Yeah, it took over the screen. So everybody, thank you for being here. Let's take away session 2, huh? Gil, do you want to remind us like where we are and stuff?
Actually, I'm gonna call Levi, and Levi's gonna do it.
Oh, awesome! I like it. Delegate.
Oh, recap. I'll try to be more professional with this one. So, Brongar, my dwarf, was tasked by Lord and Lady
Dorolo
to investigate a murder of one of their compatriots. With the help of 3 others, we hopped on a skyship and decided to head to insert city name.
Yaman, I believe, is where
was
we
it
were
Amon?
flying to.
Amon.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Amon. It's Amon.
And hold on. Yeah. And then before that, what happened? I had Gio's character. I don't have their name pulled up. I always forget names. Jeffrem. Oh, that should have been easy to remember. Jeffrem come to my character because I
wasn't trusting that changeling very much.
Sought after. Oh, we found out there's a changeling, Charles, apparently, and he's supposed to help us in some way. I don't know. We were invited to dinner by the captain of the skyship, I believe. I could be mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
You are correct.
Sounds right.
And yeah, that's a bad recap. I'll do better next time. But and Garnet's character, what is your character's name? Thule was being terrifying and just hanging off the edge of the skyship, and Jeffrem and myself do not like that. Or
no.
Jeffrem and Brongar. My apologies. Yeah, that's about it. And then, there's Dal doing turtley stuff.
Turtle.
Also, the other bit, you and Jeffrem had a moment to go over the hilt that he had acquired from a very young age.
Yes.
I can summarize that if we'd like to, because
Sure, go ahead.
So my character Jeffrem, a human paladin, is a reformed thief. Used to work for a thieving crew and had, from the time that he can remember, a hilt of a sword that was full of runes that I did not recognize. Jeffrem came to Brongar to see if he could tell him anything about it. And we had a few discussions, and after a lot of looking into it and some very intense checks, Brongar was able to discover that this hilt had something to do with the Platinum Dragon and also his own family. And so we were looking at it. It was Jeffrem was very excited about the possibilities here, and we had a little bit of help from this man who had come with to assist us on this trying to figure out who was murdered. And he looked at it and helped give us a little bit of guidance as to what it might be and how to fix it. And I, as Jeffrem, was not very trusting of him because I knew he was not being forthright about who he was as a changeling, and as a paladin, that bothers me a little bit. So, yeah, and I think that we were about to go to dinner, for at least from our perspective here. So maybe Thule can give us a background of what she recalls from her character from the last campaign, or the last session, too.
Sure. We got on a really cool ship and it flew and we were up so high. And then I got to meet the most famous bard ever, Charles. And he's really famous. I've heard lots of tales of his exploits. And I'm just so excited to go to dinner with him now. And he's going to be one of our friends.
I love it. Dahl, do you want to also add anything?
I spent a day repairing the ship, just wandering and fixing things and talking with little Thule. And we started off with Mr. Ironheart over here making me a mace that's very special to me. And then we were invited to the castle where the Derolos asked us to do something, and then we got on an airship, and then and then we had a party, and then the next day we got invited to dinner at the captain's quarters, and that's sort of where we ended off.
Okay. That was really, really well done. I like the little, everybody adds a piece of the pie or ingredient to the bowl. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. As you enter the space, you see a wonderfully lit room with a simple but elegant table set in the center with 7 chairs. Each of you is brought in, and you may choose where to sit. And the captain is standing at the, I don't know what the term is for the back end of the ship.
Stern?
Aft. Isn't the stern the front and the
I
aft
thought that was
is
the
the back?
prow.
Aft.
I don't know.
No, we're gonna. Somebody will correct it in the chat later.
Absolutely. We live for the
yes.
corrections.
Right. So he's standing in the aft of the ship, and he speaks. It's very nice. It's very nice for you all to join me. I'd like to get to know the people who are seeking refuge and transportation on my ship. I know a little bit about some of you, and the Derolos gave me some information, but not much. So let's start with a young woman who played a beautiful song.
Yes.
Thule, I believe, correct?
Yes, my name's Thule. I'm just along for the ride. I'm off to see the world with my good friend Jeff. I forgot what we're doing.
Charles speaks up. I believe we're going to investigate a murder.
Exactly. We're going to stop the murder. Murder's not a fun thing.
Investigate.
I think it's already happened, my dear.
We're going to prevent future murders then. We don't like it
That's
when
more
people
like
are
it.
murdered. We're going to stop them. Stop the murderers.
That's an
Thule.
interesting way to
Yep.
see it.
I put my hand on her shoulder. It's time to focus a little bit now, Thule, okay? You understand? Focus.
Yeah. She puts her lute back on her back and like slings it around behind and kind of pouts in the corner, but listens.
And I believe I've heard of you before, Mr. Brongar.
Oh, have you?
You have
What
a
have
bit
they
of,
said?
your craftsmanship is seemingly incomparable.
They're all right. They're all right.
And you, Mr. Geoframe?
Jeffrem.
Jeff, for my apologies. You're a paladin, the Platinum Dragon. How interesting. Criminal turned holy man.
I am indeed.
Hmm.
At your service, however I may help on this voyage.
And the most interesting person here, no offense to any of you, but the turtle.
Yes.
Everyone kind of fits except for you. No offense.
I am a big man. It is okay. I am used to that.
What do you have to gain from this little voyage?
I was asked by my friend to help. So I help. It is what I do.
Simple motives. I appreciate that. So, if you all just take a moment, think of what you would like to for dinner, it will appear in front of you in a couple of moments.
Ooh.
What does everyone think of? We'll go with Jeffrem first.
You know, I believe I am going to think of a fried salmon that I only ever heard of because we don't get a lot of fish in Vasselheim, but it seemed like that some of the wealthier people were eating this particular salmon and rice dish, and I always wanted to try it. So I'm going to try and imagine that and see and test out to see if this is going to appear before me.
A moment passes, and in front of you, it seems to just apparate out of thin air, is a perfectly golden fried salmon on a bed of white rice with some sort of lemon sauce drizzled on top of it, with what you can only assume is parsley to garnish the top.
Amazing. How did you do that?
I have my ways of doing things, tricks. Mr. Toral, I'm curious to see what you would like to eat.
I just think of my favorite fungi and my favorite vegetables and seasonings with cucumbers and mushrooms and some very nice grass. Tastes good with leaves, a big ol' salad. That is what I like.
And a moment passes, and it seems to fall from the sky, more like float gently down in front of you, building itself slowly as the plate comes together. And what you see is a beautiful bowl of grass, topped with all the vegetables that you mentioned, sprinkled with what we would know is everything bagel seasoning.
Nice.
Can I have a fruit bowl too?
Uh, you see the captain wave his hand, and then in the same manner, a lovely assortment of fruit appears in a bowl next to the bowl of salad.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, thank you much for the service. This is wondrous indeed.
Oh, we haven't got to the fun part yet.
Witchcraft.
Mr. Broad guy, it's magic.
I'm looking around. Don't trust this. I don't say that in character. But literally, I've been trying to think of something, and the only thing I can think of is shepherd's pie. So I'm going to think of a shepherd's pie.
That sounds good.
Uh, in a weird sort of explosion, slow but gradual, a shepherd's pie forms layer by layer by layer. You look down of it, and you can see the heat waves, the heat distortion of the pie, and the smell fills your nostrils, and it is decadent.
Hmm. I'll just poke it with my fork.
It's real. It's there.
Then I'll look over at the last but not least and see what they
Miss Tooley,
say.
if you would.
Okay, I have a
Yeah, this is
couple
making me
quick
hungry.
out of game questions. How long
Yes.
does she have to think about something for it to appear?
Only
Meaning,
a few seconds.
if she can't decide what she wants and she keeps thinking about random different things, are they all going to start appearing?
Yes.
Okay. So I think first a really good wine in a cool like ceramic pitcher appears, and then some fancy cheeses, and then pretty soon like a kind of a Mediterranean salad, and then let's see, then another kind of wine, then maybe a third kind of wine, and she's gonna keep going. She's just thinking of fun stuff. Then grapes, then peeled
And-
grapes, then
Can
chopped
I think about
peeled grapes.
10 gold? I'm just gonna think about 10 gold. I'm intrigued.
First, let me get to as you start to process and think, the first thing that comes, and this is much faster than anyone else's. The first wine decanter appears with a nice, and then the cheeses, and it starts off like a charcuterie board, and then after that, the second thing of wine, and then the salad pops onto the charcuterie board out of bowl, just on the charcuterie board. The third thing of wine, and it all just floods out, and then for a moment, if you're thinking of food, and then everything just stops.
Oh,
Miss Tooley,
Focus.
if you would please just try to simplify it, if you could, please.
this is good. I'm happy with what I have. Thank you. And she's just really, really pleased with life right now.
And the captain takes a seat finally, and as he sits, like a spectral pan appears, and a nicely cooked steak just lays out perfectly on his plate, with a side of steamed broccoli and mashed potatoes. Charles looks around at everyone and says, "My, you all are very imaginative. Even the turtle. What would I like? What would I like? I could really go for some stew right now." And before the last syllable leaves his mouth, a bowl of stew seems to pour itself onto the table in a bowl in front of him. That is truly an interesting little trick you have there.
Captain, how does it work?
So, when you all stepped into the room, what you actually stepped into was a magical doorway of sorts. We are inside the ship and also inside my personal domicile.
Ooh. Guys, we're on the holodeck.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't like magics. You telling me we're not on the ship anymore?
We are on the ship, but we're also not on the ship.
Okay.
Either we are or we're not.
It is an extra place. A place
Actually-
within a place.
He's correct.
I was trying to
Then-
roll to see whether I understood the concept of like planes of existence, and got a 1, so I have no idea. None at all.
As far as you know, there's only one plane of existence. You've heard stories about other ones. You'd be like, nah,
No.
those aren't real.
That sounds like bull. But
I believe it.
how is this? Does this room appear to be smaller or larger than it would be from the outside, or does it? When we walked in, does it look like did we just get into a lot bigger place than the outside of it would have looked like?
At first, you didn't really pay attention, but now that you think about it and you look around, this room is fairly larger than what you expected it to be.
How did you make this seem so spacious? I looked on it from the outside, and I would have never guessed that we could have fit this in there.
I remember a tale of a man named Saint Nicholas. He had this bag, and it used to be endless. It's like the same thing.
Oh, Claus. He's a very interesting man. I've met him before.
Who's Claus?
Don't worry. If anyone would like, anybody who has Arcana and isn't trained in it, they can roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. What's my Arcana?
I am definitely not trained in Arcana.
Oh, if trained, I am not trained in Arcana either.
Is anyone trained in Arcana?
I hate magic.
Yeah, I've got a -1 to it, and definitely not trained. Turtle or
I can try.
or Thule, or are either of you trained in it?
Nope.
Is there a little dot by your?
Nope.
I
I
have
can actually just look it up.
I have a half dot on everything, at least, because I have the
because
jack of all
you're-
trades thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
So
I
you
can
go-
I can give it a
go
whirl
roll.
if that's
You can roll.
okay. Cool. Let me grab my dice. The cat started knocking them around, so I had to hide them. Okay.
next time they'll have a dice cam and a
Ooh,
cat
18.
cam again.
19. Yeah. Cat dice cam. 19
Yes,
for
so-
my Arcana.
So, Julie, you've heard of this before. It's I believe it's a spell called the Magnificent Mansion. It's a door that appears in an occupied space, which when you look on the other side seems like a perfectly normal door, but once you walk through, you essentially go into a pocket dimension,
Okay.
or wherever the caster chooses to appears.
Okay. Guys, I know how it works. So back in the Skola Vale, one of the elders had a house that seemed to be much larger on the inside than on the outside. But when you went into the door, well, he didn't like you going in, but when you did go in, you got transported down underneath into this cool cavern. It's called something mansion, magnificent mansion or something is what he called it. He said that he wouldn't teach it to me because I wasn't responsible enough to know it yet.
Was he a doctor?
No.
Oh, I had heard of a doctor that similar things happened to.
I wonder who that could be. But Tuli, you were correct. You are very well learned.
Thank you. She just beams she's pleased. Her tail wags. Oh, her little goat tail. I forgot she has a goat tail. Okay, her little goat tail wags. She's excited.
Please, everyone, try your meal. Tell me how it tastes.
The turtle's been munching this whole time.
I give a silent prayer first before partaking, and then take a bite.
Firstly, Doll, you eat this, and thus you swear this tastes like the grass from your homeland. It's sweet. It's got a hint of bitterness on it, but the mushrooms and the different vegetables add a bit of life to the salad itself. It seems very calming and nostalgic.
I love the food. This
So
spice is so new.
Sorry.
I rolled for my reaction, and what happens next is Brongar starts, you can hear him sniffle,
and he's like, it's good. It's all right. As he continues to take a bite, and he does not. His eyes are not dry. He is currently crying.
Jeffrem, this you really haven't tried the salmon before, but it's as soon as you bite into it, it's like perfectly flaky, and it's not dry. It's very moist. The rice complements it perfectly, and the lemon clay sauce. It just tastes. It tastes, for a lack of better term, heavenly.
In Bahamut's name, I did not know food could do this. I at that point begin, like there's no more reserve, and he's not eating it slowly anymore. It is now, you would call it ill-mannered and scarfing it down, because he's trying to figure out if he can eat it quickly enough and think about another one and get it to appear, until he is bursting full.
Yeah, Brongar will be doing the exact same thing, but he's crying over his shepherd's pie and
Oh.
continues. He just wants another one.
Hold on, Thule. Do you eat your food?
Yes. She's going to like sip at the wine, and then have you guys ever watched like a goat or a sheep or something eat and they kind of nibble? She's definitely going to be just like
What kind of wine what were the three wines were you thinking of? Were you thinking of Merlot?
it was I don't actually drink wine, so I don't me as a player can't really tell you. But yes.
We'll say it was a Merlot, a Pinot Grigio, and a Moscato.
Sure, of course. And she like sips from one and then sips from the next and tries this little piece of cheese and that little piece of cheese and one piece of lettuce out of the salad, and it's like going back around and trying all the stuff.
You would think that all these different flavors in your mouth would clash, but somehow, some way, they all mesh well together. And in your mind, you picture like a beautifully composed piece of music that just each part is an instrument that adds to the sound and the music of the food. And as you eat it, it just plays, and it's like a beautiful melody in your mind and mouth.
So, I have a question. I actually want to stop for a moment because of the everything that's going on right now in Brongar's mind. He's going to look up at the captain. I want to roll an insight roll.
Okay.
Because this is odd. Oh, that's not bad. What's my insight? That is a dirty 20.
Okay. What are you trying to ascertain?
So, let me just paint a picture for you. Okay. So, he thought of shepherd's pie because it's the only thing he could think of. And I rolled a reaction roll and I got a natural 20. So I went with it. And I'm like, you know what? This tastes exactly like his wife's shepherd's pie. Okay. So that's why he's crying and he's eating, and he gets the realization, like, no one can make it just like this. Like, so he'll look up and he just wants to see if there's any, like, I don't know what. He just looks up at the captain and just sees if anything is ill, if he feels anything odd from the captain.
As you look at the captain, his bronze scales dancing with the light of the candles around him, he's just simply at peace. He's smiling. He's enjoying his meal and enjoying the fact that everyone else is enjoying their meal. He's very hard to read. I rolled a natural 20 to see what his opposing check would be, and
That's fine. That's fine. He'll actually push his bowl forward or plate and
What trickery is this, Captain?
As Miss Tooley said, it is my magnificent mansion. People have different opinions of my kind and my job title. So when I get a chance to entertain people, I try my best to offer them a pleasant and relaxing experience.
So Bronkar wants to have a pleasant and real relaxing experience, but it's impossible, even though it's perfect.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That's a natural one.
Okay, so you're not even really you're focusing on this conversation, and as you're focused on this conversation, the plate that was in front of you disappears, and what seems to float down like many flying saucers from thin air are cookies. But the cookies, you they seem familiar to you. Try try it. Try it. They smell really familiar to you.
He smells the butterscotch, and he'll reach for them, and he'll take a bite.
It is the butterscotch cookies that your daughter
Oh, I
used to
rolled
make for
another
you.
natural one. We're done. We're done. He's
They taste
gonna.
like they taste like the butterscotch cookies that your daughter used to make for you all the time.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
low blow.
He's gonna just turn around with the plate and walk away. He's gonna leave.
You go to open the door.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk out of the door, the plate of cookies disappears.
Uh,
You need to come back inside, or else the food won't stay. It only exists in this space.
I'll step back in. Is the plate there?
It falls back into your hands.
I'm
The
gonna.
same
Yeah,
half-eaten cookie in your hand.
I'm gonna eat all of them, and then I'm gonna leave.
That is a reaction that I have experienced before. It's very pleasant. I'm happy you enjoyed it.
He'll just share a brief moment with the captain, just like looking at him, and give him like a nod, and then he's just gonna step out.
Jeffrem's gonna look around and be like, "Does somebody know what's wrong with him?"
Do me a favor. No, you're fine. Cap speaks up. If I understand correctly, I actually have a question for you, Mr. Jeffrem.
Yes.
What? No, not you. The turtle.
Yes.
What did the grass taste like? Did it taste familiar to you?
It tasted like home.
Mm. So what happened here is he imagined, I believe, shepherd's pie that someone in his family used to make him, and it appeared. And it seems as if the second plate was a bit of a subconscious thought.
Does he not often eat with his family?
That is not a question I can answer. If you choose to, you can open your minds and something from nostalgic, food wise, of course, will appear in front of you.
I think that everything that Thule imagined was already from her home, from the Skull of Ale.
All the wines that you tasted
Yeah.
were wines that you snuck from the teacher's living quarters.
Yes.
They taste exactly like them, and it's kind of scary, but it's exciting. Uh,
I don't think Jeffrem has ever had better food than what he has eaten here, and survival was all that he had. For most of his life, food was whatever you could scrounge or whatever the thieves group gave you. He remembers one time when he was 15 or so that they stole some cookies when they were in a house doing a job that he thought tasted good, but that was really,
Yes.
really rare kind of a treat.
the second that you think about that, in almost the same manner as Brongar's cookies, they float down in front of you.
This is truly a marvelous place.
I stay here.
Hmm.
It lets me adjust to my mood.
I feel it might even be dangerous to spend here too much time here, for always having your heart's desires at your sleeve. Would that not be harmful to you in the long run?
It doesn't have everything. And the expression goes from being very jovial to somber, and just he stares off into the distance for a moment. No, not everything.
Thule's going to speak up and say, well, what it does have is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you for obliging.
It is a wonderful meal.
Thank you so very much. How about I ask some questions?
I have nothing to
Miss-
hide.
Mr. Jeffram, why does it seem that the reason there was a stowaway on my ship was because of you?
Well, I recently had word that the man whose employ I left when I was taken in by the Platinum Dragon Sanctuary has decided that I am a liability because I understand his ways. I was content, in gratitude for all that he did to allow me to survive, to allow bygones to be bygones in this way. And I even hoped that I could somehow bring some good to their lives, but it appears that Zen is not amiable to that arrangement. One of my old companions told me that he is now seeking my life. So
Yes, there's
I
yeah.
I am aware that there might be someone following, but I haven't seen them.
Yes, that's about the same that she told us when we caught her.
Oh, good. Who is it? Do you have a name?
One moment, because I have to refresh my memory. Let me hit the refresh button real quick. Uh, uh, was it? Is it Jana? Jana.
Jana
We're good.
followed? Jana is here
She's
now?
she's the one that spoke to you on the ship. Last session.
She yes, is Jana here? She was the one who warned me.
She's somewhere. I don't take kindly to stowaways on my ship.
I told her that she should leave him and follow us and come with us, but she rejected our offer.
I know.
Would not expect her to be the one to come after me anyway. While she's handy with tools and creating traps and things, she was never the kind of person to try and assassinate you by herself. She would set a trap and hope that you fell into it, but she was not who I would expect if Zen was trying to, well, kill me especially.
Everyone here, please roll me an insight check.
$17.
14.
5.
Thule's the only one that gets it. Thule, you're paying attention to the captain because you're through the breaks of you eating, the look on his face goes from being somber to cold, calculated, annoyed.
About the stowaway on his ship when he talks about the stowaway?
Very much so.
Okay.
She has been dealt with.
Okay. So,
Is she still alive?
Captain, what do you usually do with stowaways when you have them on your ship? I'm going to try to persuade him to be very honest with me.
Roll a persuasion check, please.
Okay. That is a 19 plus 7, so 26.
We ask questions, not so politely.
And did she give you any answers that might be useful for us? Hypothetically?
You're already seeking passage on my ship.
We are, and we are so sorry that she followed us. That's just very uncouth.
Everything has a cost, my dear.
Is she alive?
He strokes his they're not actual tentacles or tendrils, they are like fleshy, scaly dragon beard. He strokes it and he holds one in his hand and twisted it for a bit. Yes.
I might be able to
She-
reason with her.
There's no reasoning. We got all the information we wanted.
What will you do with her then?
I haven't decided yet.
Well, if you do not wish to hold her indefinitely, I will vouch for taking care of her, even if that is turning her into the authorities in Amman. I am not certain what the laws are regarding stowaways and such here, but I will see that she is dealt with properly.
Jeff,
My
we told her
ship.
not to follow us. It seems like the captain can do whatever he deems necessary on his own ship.
And the captain has. I respect him as
Yeah.
the authority here on the ship, but if he has not killed her, as might be his right,
Yep.
As the young lady said, my ship, my law.
I fully understand.
Thule's going to
And I-
smile very warmly at the captain, like, yep, you're my buddy.
I simply offer that if you do not wish her blood on your hands, or the trouble of dealing with her further, I'm willing to take her off of your hands.
She will be tried. She will have her day. We will decide what to do with her.
I trust that you will. Then I must ask, on a more practical personal level, did the information that you get from her reveal further threat that might be aimed at myself or Thule or anyone that I might be traveling with?
As I said before, everything has a price.
Are you saying then that I owe you a price for this information?
Information for information, equivalent exchange.
Is there information I have that you care to ask for?
The Platinum Sanctuary is hoarding magical artifacts. What are their intentions with them?
Okay, is this something that I have any clue about? Because I don't know whether I'm withholding any information or trying to withhold information here or not.
You have been on a handful of missions with Lady Kima to retrieve magical artifacts.
Okay.
And it was never explicitly said that you couldn't talk about what you found, but it also wasn't explicitly said that you should.
Okay. I'm going
And
to.
with any religious organization, there's an air of uh, mystery because not everything is told. Do with that as you wish.
Okay. My intelligence is definitely not high, and reading this kind of thing is going to be way above my pay grade. So let me see. I'm going to roll and see what I think about this.
I would come back around now. Whenever is a good time.
I do not explicitly know why they are gathering them. I know they are. I helped into some capacity to gather artifacts, but I am not certain for the entire purpose, but it must be a good one. The Platinum Dragon does not deal in evil.
DM to player, are you telling the truth?
To my knowledge, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm sitting here with the whole. I don't understand. The captain seems like a good guy, and I don't think that there's any reason to hide anything because the Platinum Sanctuary is a good place, and they're full of good people, and there's no reason to think they're doing anything shady. So I don't see a reason to hide it.
Okay.
I'm a little naive in that way, potentially, but yeah.
The captain looks at you. That will suffice.
Can I roll to see if I know what they've been doing by picking up snippets of what he said or in the taverns where I've played and stuff like that?
Roll me a history check.
History.
Well, all
you
of this.
could do a history, or you could
Okay.
do a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Okay, it's a 17. History.
You've heard whispers of magical artifacts being collected, but you also heard whispers of some being funneled out.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to continue to look kind of just sitting there. I have no idea what's going on. Nope, not me. Just a little goat girl.
What were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, like, while all of this conversation is going on, I'm just sitting there eating salad. When my plate is empty, I just think of more and more falls down, and I'm just keep on eating like the entire time since I've been had food in front of me. I've been eating just nonstop.
Hey, Dal,
Mmm.
can I try that melon?
Sure, this is some of my favorite. It is a spiced melon. Yes.
Ooh. She's going to switch from her food to helping him eat his now. She wants to try new foods.
The captain. Excuse me, indigestion. The captain looks at all of you for a moment. He looks at Jeffrem. It seems you have more than one tail.
He does not have a tail.
Yeah, that the metaphor is going right over Jeffrem's head. He's like, but I.
Well, it seems like you have more than one person following you.
Good for you to join us again, Bronca.
That's.
As
I hope that none of the other ones have
he's
made it
eating
onto
more
the ship.
cookies.
We'll say that one more time, Jeffrem.
I hope that none of them have made it aboard your ship, or that if they have, you have already dealt with them.
After we found the first one, we combed the ship with our own means. No one else is here from your crew besides her.
Is it? How many ships are there between Vasselheim and Iman? If I were to Is it possible at all to find out if any of these individuals try to make the trip to follow? For example, if one of them tries to get passage with you, or tries to sneak on.
Many ships go from Vasselheim to Amon and to multiple different places. No more stowaways will get upon our ship ever again. This is something I take pride in.
I respect you for being so thorough.
In my line of work, you have to be.
Captain,
And I also must apologize that because of me, that anyone would sneak on to your ship. It is repugnant to me.
Yes, we are so sorry for the trouble that this has caused. What do you usually charge for passage aboard your ship on a journey such as this?
There's a pro rate and there's a commercial rate. The pro rate is 10 platinum. The commercial rate is 5 gold.
Okay. And you say that there were two of them?
There was only one that was here on board.
Okay. So where was this second tail? And as she says that, she's gonna pull out her money. I've got to figure out how much she actually has. So how do you know of the second tail? I'd like to, if he's reluctant to talk about this, I kind of want to persuade him while I kind of give him some money for please take this as, this is what I have to cover the passage of the stowaway. We're so sorry.
Somebody said something?
So what's up, guys?
Blade joined. We're in a D&D session, dude.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
The captain says, he puts his hand up, no need for money. We took all we needed from her.
Oh.
Information for information. If you want to know about the tale, you need to offer some information up. No, Mr. Jeffram, you've offered up enough information. Miss Tooley, there's not much known about you, besides your songs, and your words, and your bubbling personality. Why don't you tell me something about yourself? No one knows.
She's having trouble thinking of something that no one knows because she's often an open book about herself. Okay. All right. She says, one of my goals in life. Actually, I might have told Jeff this. That won't count. And she sits and thinks, and she says, I've always wanted to learn to play the penny whistle.
His serious demeanor cracks and he chuckles.
Do you have one? You seem like you're excited about this. I'm excited about this. Have you ever seen a penny whistle? Because I've never actually seen one, because surely I'm going to buy one as soon as I can. But I've always wanted to learn.
He closes his eyes for a moment and chuckles. And
Jeffrey is just laughing openly at this.
A spectral, it seems like a spectral servant entity comes out of thin air carrying a penny whistle.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen a penny whistle in person. I've always wanted one. May I play it?
There'll be time for that later.
Okay. She's gonna pout a little bit more and kind of just stare at the penny whistle. Is it like floating in air, kind of?
A spectral serpent is holding the penny whistle.
Okay. She's looking at it, very, very intrigued.
Give me a sec. I'm trying to see if this reaches requirements.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Miss Tooley, that's not what I was looking for. Why did you leave your home?
Oh, that's simple. That's not something that no one knows about me. I left my home as a dawn greet. It's a very common thing from the Skola Vale. Some of us satyrs decide to go out and spread merriment among the people because, well, frankly, a lot of people out here are really just too somber, and it's kind of sad. So I'm coming out to spread merriment. I want to see the world. I'm so excited. I've been out for a couple years. I've moved around Vasselheim in the different districts.
Generally, she was not welcome in a district after one of her parties.
I
Well,
have
yes.
heard tale of satyrs being very revelers.
Yes, I'm so glad that you've heard of them. They are revelries. That's what we call our parties. They've been very much fun. I've been able to spread merriment to some of the people in Vasselheim, but honestly, I heard that Vasselheim was a real challenge. And, well, there's no challenge that can't be undertaken and completed.
It was definitely challenging, but there are stories of some of these parties that have circled around Vasselheim. Should really ask around sometime.
That your determination and your purity is charming and a welcome respite from what I normally deal with.
Thank you. So people on your ship are also burdened with too much seriousness.
Once again, it comes with a job. Rongar,
Aye.
your compatriot has asked for some information. Her payment was not sufficient. I'll give her the information she wishes, but only after you tell them why you left. Tell Jeffrey why don't you see your family.
He'll look at Jeff from like, well, my family's dead.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I was not aware.
That's why they call me the Shattered Hearth. Surely you've heard that name if you came to sought after me.
You heard the name, but you never understood why they called him the Shattered Earth.
No, all I knew was that he would be able to look at my hilt and tell me information. Honestly, names are things that can be passed on very easily at times, and I usually don't give a great deal of stock to the names, I'm told. People shed them like cloaks where I came from.
He points over the changeling, sheds them as much as he sheds his appearance.
Yeah, well, what's up with that?
Charles has been quiet this entire time. He's just taking everything in. Well, I'm here because I was asked for my assistance. And as you can clearly tell, yes, I'm a changeling. I am from her realm. And he points over at Thule.
Who asked you to help? I'm curious.
The powers that be asked me to help.
It's
And
very vague.
Which powers would those be? There are many powers, some of which are worthy of following and some are not.
I've been here on the prime material plane for quite some time, and I have been tasked by the Spring Court to keep an eye on Thule.
I look at
Thule's-
Thule. What have you done?
She immediately looks guilty and says, "Nothing. I didn't do anything."
That's funny.
There are many things that you have done. Nothing does not even begin to cover them, Thule.
Interested parties are interested. Something special about that girl. Follow her. Make sure she does not get into too much trouble.
Are you our second tail?
No, by God, no. By
So
God,
we
no. That's someone completely different.
oh, good. So we have 3. Wait, that means you know of this other person?
I I don't pay attention to who is staring at you. Or I'm sorry, I don't pay attention to who's staring at him. Pay attention to who's staring at you.
Oh, okay. Has anyone been staring at me besides you?
There was that boy, the gentleman who you seem to enthrall with your performance.
You'll have to be more specific. There are a lot of those.
Yes, I
Yes,
know
there have been. There have been a lot of those.
you are quite well versed in your abilities. He seemed as though he wanted to profess his love to you.
Oh, is that what he was trying to do?
There's been a lot of those too.
What was he? It was that elf boy. Too big for his own britches.
Hmm.
Other than the many other suitors, people who were infatuated with your performance and your appearance. Nothing much else.
Okay, good. She's completely unconcerned that this guy has just said he's been sent there to take care of her, and she's going to kind of glance back over at the penny whistle. Just a little bit.
The captain speaks up. I have many penny whistles. Outside of this plane of existence, I will give you one.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Bromgar made me a wooden whistle. It's beautiful.
Very well crafted. This is surprising given his affinity for metals.
I know, isn't it beautiful? And she's going to pick it up and kind of just start playing.
I kind of lean over towards the captain. One thing you need to know about Thule is that she lives in the moment. Very in the moment. Things like the past and the future, they're very nebulous terms to her, and she doesn't always think of them.
She puts it in the drawer. She puts it in the drawer and forgets about it until someone reminds her it's there.
Yes, there's multiple times I've had to remind her of things like consequences of doing something that don't always immediately sink in.
Charles, are you whispering this?
Yes, I would be whispering it.
Hold on. The captain speaks again. Many like her satyrs have that tendency. It's a blessing and a curse.
It makes her a lot of fun to keep around, I'll tell you that.
All satyrs are fun at parties. I have not once met a satyr that wasn't fun at a party.
How many
Normally when
satyrs have you met?
Quite a few. Quite a few.
She's the only one I've ever run into. I'm being a lot louder now. Honestly, as she said, I believe that most of them avoid Vasselheim for, well, fairly obvious reasons, but something about her took it as a challenge.
Religion's very... Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't Captain speaking. This is Charles. Religion isn't a very...
Revelrous?
a very important topic when it comes to the Feywild. There are Fey gods, arts, Feys, and all of that different accoutrement, but they're more common.
So what is your real point in all of this then? For all I've ever heard of the Fae is that you can't really understand them or trust them. That their desires and intentions are not what they seem and often seem very confusing to mortals. I was warned against them.
She's gonna pause playing for a minute and say, "But you trust me," and then go back to playing.
You are a special case.
Here, sweet Jaffram, you have nothing to worry about from me. I'm but a simple bard. Who was
Bards are never simple.
It's a very true statement. I am just a complex bard who was tasked with a job and is doing said job as he was told.
She's gonna stop playing for a minute and say, "So Charles, does this mean that you're going to come with us wherever we go?"
I'll be there. Call me if you need me. But I prefer to stay in the background.
Okay.
I'm a bit player in this play that we call life. In yours, at least.
I want to start whittling a ring. A wooden ring.
You're whittling away. And as you're whittling away, all the shavings fall to the ground, and you see a small spectral figure pick them up quickly.
Oh, nice.
Question.
I'd be nice about it.
Does he put the penny whistle down when he picks up the shavings?
It's a different spectral.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
All right.
So, Charles,
Yes, my dear sweet Brongar.
what's your ring size?
10.5.
Thank you.
I'm making him a ring, so if he changes, I can know who he is. And yep.
Charles understands what you're doing. He doesn't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah. Clever.
Clever girl. Clever girl.
I am very wise. Brongar is very wise.
So, Captain, why invite us to dinner? I might have probably missed the introductions.
I just simply like to know who's on my ship and why they're on my ship.
We're the only ones on your ship.
Only passengers currently, yes.
Oh.
This was an important mission. I would complain about the loss of funds, but they were replaced. I had to bargain with Lady Vixalia. She did not want to meet my price originally.
That is my lady.
She seems like someone who gets what she wants.
I would
Always.
rather deal with a draconic contract, then deal with Lady Vixalia if I owe her something.
That is true. That is a very truly underrated statement.
I lean back and a giant piece of cake materializes in front of me with a mug of milk next to it, and I just start, getting fat and happy a little bit.
Jeff,
Interesting point of order. When you take a bite of the cake, it's familiar to you, but you can't place where.
Jeff, can I try the cake?
I was actually going to
Absolutely.
offer Thule a cookie.
Okay. She definitely takes cake in one hand and cookie in the other
Oh.
and nibbles.
I'd like to try and throw it at you, honestly. I'd like to see if I could take a little piece in my hand and
Please-
toss it over
Please
at
no throwing
Thule.
food
Okay.
in my. Please no throwing food in here.
Oh, sorry, Thule. You'll have to come and get it.
Okay.
A
Thule's
spectral
gonna.
servant appears, takes the cake, and brings it over to Thule.
Okay. She takes it and she starts eating it and says, "How many of those servants do you have?"
A deep bellow chuckle comes from his gut. All of them. And as he says that, the room is filled, and you are completely surrounded with spectral servants.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Thule's gonna keep eating her cake, and then she's gonna switch to the cookie and kind of look around at the spectral sickles, or not sickles, sorry, spectral servants, and say, "Well, that's interesting," and start eating the cookie. And
Rangar will
Bromgar,
Watch,
You're right.
watch her reaction.
this is the best butterscotch cookie I've ever had. Thank you so
Mm.
much for sharing them with me.
You're welcome.
Can I, let's see. I kind of want to go over to Bromgar and just kind of pat his back and
Oh, don't do that.
oh.
He'll probably start. No, you go ahead. That's fine.
She's gonna try. She's gonna come over and pat his back and kind of just ask him, like, did you ever make cookies with her? Did you teach her how?
No, that was my wife. She taught my daughter how to bake. I was never one to cook.
Roll me a perception check, Bragar.
Me? Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you have
sorry.
advantage.
Okay. I need it. Oh, okay. Sweet. Perception. That is a 23.
This is one of those times where you didn't want to roll high.
Not?
You did not want to roll high.
Then why'd you give me advantage? There's basically disadvantage.
There's a point to this. As you say that about your wife and teaching your daughter how to cook, you take a look around at the spectral servants. Dotted throughout the crowd of spectral servants.
No, that's messed up.
You see faces of your family.
Do any of the rest of us see
Hold on,
this,
give
or
me
is
a
this
second to
something only in
process that.
his head?
That's a good question.
Jeffrem, you see the face of a person that looks really familiar to you, but you don't know where from. Anyone else? Does anyone else want to look around as well?
I'll look.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Doll, you see the face of your wife in the crowd. Thule, you see the face of your mother. Jeffrem, as I said, you see the face of someone you can't really explain why you know who they are, but you feel like a connection to them.
Male or female, or is it
It's
obvious?
It's a female.
So I've just been sitting there, just eating my food, whatever. And then when all the people arrive, right, all the spectral servants, and I look around and I see the face of my wife, I will bolt up out of my chair. You've never seen a turtle move so fast. I will stand up, my chair falls over backwards, I push myself away from the table, and I will go straight towards that spectral servant that looks like my wife.
Captain, who is this?
I mean, there are no other turtles in the group, right? I'm guessing this is the only
no.
one.
As you get up and go toward the spectral figure, you get closer to it, and as you get closer, they just look like another faceless spectral figure.
So if I'm seeing this right, we're all seeing our own individual, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So like I can't see the turtle.
Mm-mm.
That's
Or-
why
See a
I.
faceless-
Okay.
see a faceless spectral
Jeffrey was
figure.
looking at the captain like, Captain, who is this? Who is this
I don't.
person?
I don't know quite. I don't quite know who you see. I don't
Oh,
quite know who
truly?
you see.
So you don't see her? Does anyone else see her?
I'll
This woman?
That's my
Rungar will
mother.
speak up.
Your mother was
Ugh.
not a human. There's no way your mother was a human, Thule.
Oh, I was looking at this satyr woman. Nope, I guess I don't see her.
I
You
hate
see a satyr?
magics.
And Rungar will stand up.
It
Look
just
at
barely
Thule.
dawns on me now that everyone's seeing different people.
Yeah. Looks at Thule, puts his hand on her shoulder, and
We can have this conversation, just not right now.
and he'll walk out.
When Dal reaches the turtle, or what he thinks was his wife, and then the face sort of disappears and it becomes a normal, just spectral whatever, you see him like stop in his tracks and then reach his hand out, and then he gets angry and turns towards the captain. Captain, what is happening? That is not okay to mess with my mind. What is going on?
Thule's gonna
This-
stop eating and look a little bit concerned and kind of just look back and forth like a ping pong match here.
When you come aboard my ship and you eat food, break bread with me. I need to see who you are. I need to see what drives you. You're more than welcome to stay and become part of the crew. But what you see is not what you see.
But I am seeing what?
They're not here.
Oh.
Question: would I have caught Dal saying what he said before I leave? Like it's all happening in unison, right? I'm presuming.
Yeah.
So, I would hold off by the door when because Dal is my friend. I don't want him to do anything stupid, or I want to join him in doing something stupid. So,
That's the right response.
yeah. So, what you said is what you see.
What you see isn't what you see.
Is this you looking into my mind?
Yes.
Thule,
Yes.
is your mother alive or dead?
My mother's alive as far as I know.
She is.
Okay. I'm
Do
going to
not
try and
appreciate-
memorize the face of this person the best that I can, of this random person that I'm seeing.
It's much easier than you expect.
Okay.
I do not appreciate trickery. If you had asked simply, I would have opened up. But that is a part of my past that I do not appreciate. And the turtle turns and leaves.
And as he's saying that, I'll wait for Dal to get to the door, and I'll say,
The same goes for me. I do not appreciate you, or whatever magical trickery this is.
and I'll follow him out when he passes by. And
Right as you leave, you hear the captain say this last bit. This ship is no simple ship. I am trapped. But I chose this.
You were trapped on this ship?
I don't care. I'm leaving still. I'll put my hand on Dell's back. I don't know if he is an affectionate person. It doesn't seem like an affectionate person. But him knowing me, I don't do that, generally. But just to console with him for a brief moment. And know that he has a friend for a moment. And then I'll pull away. It's like a second or two.
Why are you trapped on the ship, Captain?
I lost someone I loved long ago. The ship promised me that I would see them every single day.
And do you? In this place?
I see him now. The man I once loved.
Oh my goodness. I wish I was there because I'd be yelling at this person so much.
This is something I cannot claim to truly understand, but then again, loving someone is not something I am very familiar with.
Whether you believe it or not, you are. Who you see is someone of importance to you, whether it be consciously or subconsciously.
I was always told that love is a weakness that can be exploited for gain. And while I do not agree necessarily anymore, I've never had family. I don't truly understand the feeling of loss that others are experiencing here. But I give you my condolences.
Is Thule not your family?
Of course, but she's here with me. I haven't lost her.
Then you know love.
I go over there and I put my hand on her shoulder. Just kind of gently giving her a little bit of a shoulder rub as she's sitting there.
She grins and takes some of your food.
The day may come when I understand this pain, but the day is not here yet. And I hope to put it off as long as possible.
I pray to the storm lord that you don't.
But it seems that you have managed to offend several of our companions.
I tend to have that effect on people.
Can you be freed? Do you wish to be freed?
No. This is the only way I see their face. It's so I don't forget.
I am sorry to hear that. Is there anything that we can do to help you?
Surprisingly enough, Miss Thule's company is very, it's like a Band-Aid. It helps with the pain.
Just sounds like someone hasn't dealt with their traumas.
Yeah, Levi, that's exactly what it is. The captain has not dealt with his traumas.
Pot
Miss
calling
Lily is-
kettle, calling frying pan, calling everybody else black. Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
My trauma is so much a part of me that I don't even know it's a trauma at this
Whoa.
point.
First of
So-
all, Brongar's been very good about dealing with that stuff, but seeing his family in front of him since they passed and then eating their cooking, that's insane.
yeah,
That's
that would
fair.
be
That will
really-
trigger anyone.
It would.
So when I tasted the butterscotch cookie, I want to see if I can kind of think about what ingredients might have been in this and if I could possibly recreate this at a future date.
Roll me an investigation. Investigation.
So I'm not really used to D&D this version. When you are trained, do you just get, I mean, when you're proficient in a skill, what good does that do for you?
So as a bard, because you have jack of all trades, you get half proficiencies on all skill checks.
Right.
If you're trained in it, you get your full proficiency.
Oh, okay. So
So
it's, all right.
I believe your proficiency bonus is +2.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you're trained in investigation, which you are, you get the full +2 to it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah, depending on your level, you have
Well,
proficiency bonus
okay.
on top of your stat.
14.
And sometimes you can't even make a check if you're not trained. So
Okay.
If you spend more time in here, eating these cookies, you'll figure it out.
Okay.
Wait. Does she have
There's a-
access to it though? That's the question.
You gave
The
me a
actual
cookie.
cookie?
If she remembers the taste,
Mhm.
the smell, and the details of the cookie, she'll be able to recreate it.
Okay, this is coming from a child dwarf, like young. So they probably don't even taste that good.
That's
the
okay.
best part about it.
I'm not worried about
That's
that.
fair. No, yeah,
They're okay. They're okay. It's just like a
Yeah.
chocolate chip cookie, like
Yeah.
a 8-year-old makes.
they taste good to you, Thule, but they don't taste as good to you as they taste to Brongar.
I understand that they taste really good to him, just like that, though.
There
I'm
is
gonna file that away.
However much time you spend in here trying to figure this out, there's one ingredient you don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's love.
I was just gonna say that. I was thinking,
truly,
I
do
don't
you have
care if
any?
you know it. No,
I
it's
understand
nutmeg.
you're very artistic, but do you have any skill in drawing or sketching?
Whom are you asking?
I'm asking Thule, because I haven't actually ever talked to her about this.
I think she would have some pretty good skill in a lot of arts like that. I think they really like that in the Skull of Vale, but yes, I have some. What can I do for you?
I am seeing the face of a woman
Hmm?
that I cannot. I don't know who she is. She seems familiar to me, but yet foreign. Though I've seen her before, but I don't recognize her. But if you're seeing your mother and she is still alive, then she doesn't necessarily have to be a ghost of my past. Perhaps she is alive. Perhaps this is someone that will be important to me, but I want to make sure that I don't forget her face.
Okay.
I wondered if I might describe her and have you draw her for me.
I'll be right back.
It is only but an echo of your past.
Is it now?
Thule hops up, and just
I'm
as she's
sorry.
about to exit the door, she's like, "Wait, will the penny whistle still be there when I get back?"
The penny whistle will still be there when you get back, Miss Thule.
Okay. She hops out the door and goes off to get some parchment and charcoal.
So now it's just me and Charles and the captain at this point. Well, you have given us much to think of. And I will be honest, Charles. The way that you waffle and hide, it makes me not fully trust you. But you have done us no harm yet. Don't
You have-
hurt Thule.
I will not hurt the girl. I will not hurt the girl. She is one of my kind. She is innocence kin to me. And she is under my protection.
Then we were on the same side. For Thule is a wonderful person, but very innocent in a lot of ways. Not in other ways. She is much more worldly than I am in many ways, but she is also... She leaves herself vulnerable. She is not careful. I try to watch her back. I try to prevent her from being hurt.
That's good. That's good. Because if I'm not there, someone needs to be. And if I fail in my mission, then no matter how kind the Spring Court is, they will show me no mercy.
I do not fully understand these things, but I think I will ask Thule to explain it to me at some time. Is there a... Captain, you have been very hospitable. Is there any more that you need from us tonight? Or may I give you a very heartfelt thank you for the dinner and the very interesting experiences and retire?
Once Miss Tooley comes back with the charcoal and the parchment, you are all free to go as you please.
Okay. This has been a memorable night.
Okay, I think she comes back with some charcoal and paper, and it's like, okay.
Roll me a sleight of hand, Tooley.
Ooh.
And you have advantage because Jeff, whether he understands why or not, he's very familiar with this person.
Okay. So I have a +6.
Yeah.
So that would be a 19 or a 19. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. 21.
Okay. Then I describe the best of my ability this face, this person, the specter that I'm seeing.
It is shot for shot, detail for detail, a perfect replication of the person you see.
Thule, you are a marvel.
I
Thank
know.
you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to take that picture and keep it, very close and in a, one of my pouch where I keep the most precious things that I would guard, where I'm gonna keep it.
If you would like, you can roll me a. I'm sorry. If you would like, you can roll me a history check.
Okay. Let's see. My strength, that is history. I got a 19. Amazingly, that's a natural 20 -1.
Oh, you got a natural 20.
Mm-hmm. It's the highest I can roll on a history check.
As you're sitting there describing this person to Thule, your mind goes back to a memory you're not really familiar with, but it's there. It's always been there. Of a woman smiling at you, putting you down, and then running away.
As I'm drawing this person, does she look much like Jeffrem?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't say anything about it, even though having that realization, I internalize that very much.
Roll me just a straight charisma check.
Ooh. 25.
Wow.
No one seems to get it. No one sees it. You keep it tight, like a tiger.
Mm.
Julie, I believe I am ready to retire for the evening if you are. I can rest safely, but think on Jenna. If you don't want her, I believe there is good in her that still could be redeemed, but, the decision is yours. It is your ship. She broke the law. That is her own decision.
That reminds Thule of the whole conversation about that and says, "Oh, Captain, who is our second tail?"
You won't when you see him. You won't realize you saw him, or you didn't see him.
Hmm.
He's a stealthy fuck.
A shadow in the night. I can only guess. Well, we will watch our backs as soon as we're off this ship. But for here, I will rest soundly.
You're safe on my ship. No harm will come to you while you're under my care.
Thank you, Captain.
That I can stop. As you exit captain's quarters, Charles falls behind, and you guys now notice, looking at the ship, you're looking for the power source of what makes this ship float. You don't see it anywhere. Matter of fact, it looks like a regular ship you would see on the sea.
Julia, I cannot help but feel that I am out of my depth.
Woefully out of your depths, my dear. Woefully out of your depths.
Would you care to explain what the Spring Court is and why they're interested in what you're doing?
Well, they're just one of the fake courts. Real quick, out of character. That's right, isn't it? The Spring Court. Yeah, one of the fake courts. Okay, great. Just making sure. Like, well, they're just one of the fake courts. The satyr, like, I'm from the Spring Court. I don't know why they care what I'm up to. I suppose they probably keep an eye on all of their dawn guard. Or their dawn greets, sorry. When I say that,
Charles chuckles.
so I know that there's probably more to it, but I'd like to make it seem like they probably just watch everybody.
Okay, I don't trust anything she says here.
Roll a deception check, Thule, and roll me an insight check, Jeffrey.
Oh, my insight is a 5. So
22.
You have known Thule for years, and you've always known that she plays it close to the vest.
yeah.
She doesn't. She is her. She does what she wants as she pleases. And you think nothing of what she just said.
Thule,
He's right. This is normal.
this is just I know that you are full of BS. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I know that you are. Just if there's something important, please warn me before it happens. Thank you.
You know that I would always warn you before something important happened.
And as we fade off, we're gonna take a second. Brongar, where are you at?
I would take a moment with Dal to speak with him before everyone got out as we were exiting. But as we step away a little bit away from the doorway, I'm just trying to think what he'd say. Because there's so many emotions. Oh, so many things.
I've done my job.
All
true.
the feels. All the feels.
Are you okay, my friend?
Not really.
Neither am I.
And let out at like a chuckle almost, but like
Like one of those nervous chuckles where like everything's fine, but it's not.
yeah, kind of. But
That's why I've always stayed away from magics. Because a lot of it is trickery. Doesn't show you the truth.
That is why I like nature. I like the natural way of things. I have magic, but it is not whatever that was. I miss her. And you see him start to he takes the shield that he has and holds it in one arm, in one hand, and starts just slowly caressing it.
I miss my family too. You and I are very similar when it comes to that. Different stories, but similar outcomes.
Yes.
We just need to remember what keeps us strong.
She kept me strong. She kept me safe.
Whole?
Yes, whole.
Mm.
And now she keeps me safe still. She protects me.
Oh, can I say something out of character? We both did the exact same thing with our characters without talking to each other. So, he has the shield of his wife, and my character has made a shield out of the ashes of his wife, and then made a hammer out of the ashes of his
Children.
kids.
Yeah.
And he has a hammer,
mace
a mace. Yeah,
It's her talons, her claws.
we did not design that together, mind you. It all just
Yep.
came.
You guys
So-
have issues.
Yes.
I'm gonna say you guys actually didn't stay on the deck of the ship because clearly Brongar doesn't like the deck of the ship because he's afraid of heights. You probably
I could do this. The air would have been nice. The night
Okay.
air would have been nice.
you guys go all the way to the stern of the ship.
Jeffrem half expects to find the two of them getting drunk, and he starts, he and Thule are having a little conversation about whether turtles get drunk, and can they get drunk, and, etc. That's my thought at this point.
We kind of started having that conversation out here on the stream.
Fun fact: Brongar hasn't had alcohol since his family passed.
Oh.
I don't necessarily. That's a fun fact, but yeah.
It is a fact. Okay.
Some people start drinking when they have a traumatic experience, but apparently for a dwarf like that, you stop drinking when you have the traumatic experience.
That's just how dwarves do it.
Ooh, I would say that he did actually. Let me rephrase that. He did, but then when he made the shield and he made the hammer, he decided not to drink it, or at least get drunk.
As Thule and Jeffrem are coming out, you would see them. But Charles says, "Let them be for a moment. I believe they need time to process."
I have no desire to wade into that particular minefield at this point. Thule, how was the wine?
It was very good. Very good. I wonder if the captain will let me go in there more often. I might have to ask him. Or maybe I'll come back later tonight and see if it's just left open. Might be nice.
You've done that.
And as you two are talking, the captain walks out of the captain's quarters and walks past you. And he makes a beeline for Brongar and Dahl.
I make a sign back towards the door, with looking at Thule and just like,
It got closed when he walked out. No, he what you guys don't know, he views that as a curse, and that's his cross to bear. He will not let anyone go in there on his crew because they all went in there at one point and decided to stay.
Do I see him approaching?
Are you guys facing out, or are you looking back?
I think I'd have my back currently to anyone coming from towards me, and I'd be looking off it's not that I'm super deathly afraid, or that Brongar's super deathly afraid of heights. He'll look over, but he gets like the chills and like, ugh,
I
kind of
think
thing.
when
This
I would have found a place to either a barrel or something on deck to sit down and pull out the shield, and that's what I was doing. So I think I would be facing towards the ship, away, next to Bromgar.
Man. I'm just going
Uh,
back to my bunk, and I'm going to sit there and stare at the picture for a while.
you would see the captain coming, but it wasn't a hostile. He's walking very calmly, very slowly. And if you would like, you can roll an insight check.
All right. 11.
He's not hiding this. He's walking to you slowly. He's trying to approach. It seems like he wants to say something to you and Brontar.
Um, 1 second. I need to roll how I'm gonna act this. How he would take that.
I'm just debating.
Master debating. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I have a
Couldn't help it.
16. I have a 16 passive perception. So
He's not being sneaky.
Yeah. So I see him approach. I can tell that it is not a hostile approach. So I stand up and I put the shield back on my back. And I just sort of stand there and glare at him as he approaches.
He stops about 5 feet away from you, and he looks at the both of you. Says, "I would like to apologize."
Was that trickery you're doing? Or is that something that just happens?
This ship is not a normal ship.
Well, yes, it flies through the sky. I know this.
That doesn't answer his question.
It's the
Captain.
ship. It is the ship.
Is this a sentient ship?
It is sentient in the way that it is able to perceive things
Mm. If
and
it is
produce
sentient,
images.
why would it do this thing to harm me when I have done nothing but help it?
Your th-
Well, it's not
your
harming. It's not harming.
That was harm. That was not okay.
hold on 1 second.
The ship is showing us our loved ones, people we care about. It's hard to face that truth sometimes. Doesn't mean that
Uh,
it's being harmful.
uh, Levi, what's your character's last name again? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Ironheart.
Mr. Ironheart is correct. The perspectives of the ship is slightly askew. It's not. It is not intended to harm.
Who do you see, Captain?
Sorry, I'm getting the smiley face because I like what I just did. Um, his his demeanor never changes from a somber look, but there's sadness behind this look. And he's not hiding it because he truly feels sorry about what he did. The man I loved.
Are they past?
Into the embrace of the matron.
So you know how we feel then.
That's why I'm
No,
here.
no, he doesn't. He can look upon the trickery whenever he wishes. I don't think he's actually let go of his loved one, the man he loves. He still holds on to him, don't you, Captain?
Well, neither
Very
have
close.
I. I have not let go either. That is why I keep her close.
No doubt. He'll point at you. He's like, "You're fine, but this man's playing trickery on himself and others, and it's not okay."
Mm.
I play no trickery. Everyone who boards this ship and is a member of this crew chose to stay.
But we are
And every
not staying, are we?
We're
no,
not your crew, Captain.
you're not.
So have you dealt with your loss, Captain, or you just hold on to a glimpse of what was?
I hold on to the glimpse. When I'm there, I see his face.
You told us you wanted to see who we are. What did you see of me?
I saw the reason why you do the things you do.
And what is that?
You do it in honor of her, as he does in honor of them. You choose to continue, because that's what they would wish of you.
Oh, you think you know, Captain, but you haven't dealt with your own demons. When you
How can
actually deal with it and work through that, then you can have room to talk to us about our loss and how we move forward with it. Our
I,
reactions
com-
were of shock, Captain.
I commend you for how you deal with it, and I wish I could do the same.
What's stopping you, Captain?
The only thing that ever stops anybody from doing anything, yourself.
There it is.
But in this aspect, I'd say myself. I stay because it brings me the high of seeing his face again, the endorphin rush. When I'm here, I'm home. When I'm in there, I'm back in our house, in our room.
We each have different ways of perceiving that. I too had a rush, but it was not pleasant. To be startled with the face of the one you love and lost, but they are there and you see them and you long for them, and then they are gone again. It is a way of opening wounds, picking at the scab and not letting it heal. Why won't you let it heal?
Because I don't want it to heal.
Then you will forever feel the pain.
And I will
You'll
forever be trapped on this ship.
you'll always feel the pain. You just get stronger.
Mm.
This is my burden to bear, and I chose it. And I will continue to bear this burden until I die or I can walk away. The ship doesn't simply just perceive. It seeks companionship.
Are there not other sky ships? Cannot not find a mate on its own?
The captain chuckles
Brongar will chuckle, actually, too. I think
sadly.
Brongar understands what the captain's trying to say, but
Sadly, Mr. Dahl, that is not the way things are.
Well, if they're not others, can we not create another? Is there not a way for this ship to find what it seeks so that it can stop tricking the ones that it boarded?
No trick.
That was a trick.
When
And
you
it
board the ship, you are drawn to the captain's quarters. Once you go into the captain's quarters, you see what you've lost or what you hold dear. It entices you to stay. But you truly know that they are not there.
She will always be with me.
And they will always be with you, Mr. Ironheart.
It's shattered Earth.
They will always be with you. But I believe it is time for me to go to sleep.
Maybe in the future, Captain, you should let people know up front and let them choose. If I had been under different circumstances, that might have been a welcoming thing that happened. But being startled out of nowhere, that was not okay. I will
If we
be
were,
okay, but moving forward, maybe you should be honest.
do you intend to join my crew?
I do not. The sky is not my place. The beasts are not here. The beasts need me. The animals and nature are who I am. There are things in the sky, but they have their own freedom. I am
Then,
not built for this place.
then I mean you no disrespect at all when I say to this to you. But unfortunately, you do not get the luxury of my full trust.
I feel the same, unfortunately.
That is
For
the way
now,
it goes.
Well, Captain, thanks for your kind words, saying his wife is with him and my family with me. Just remember, if you want your love to be with you, you have to let go of this ship, because he never will be. And I'll walk away.
The captain takes a cue from you and does the same. And as he walks away, he says, "Back to the hollow embrace of the one that I loved."
Mhm.
And you see him disappear into the captain's quarters.
as they're walking away, how fast is the ship moving? Like, is it moving pretty fast?
Uh, To you, it feels like it's either you're going at a nice leisurely pace.
Okay. As they both walk away, I turn towards the open sky. I put my head up, and then never mind. I can't do that. I'm not high enough level. I was going to go for a flight, but I can't fly.
I was like, don't jump!
Dang it.
You could wild shape, can't you?
I can,
Yeah,
but
but
I
you have
can't
to be
fly.
like level 6 or 7 to actually fly.
Flying is
Yeah.
level 8, unfortunately.
Be a flightless bird, turn into a chicken.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You can glide, right?
So yeah, I was gonna go like fly around and then come back to the ship, but I can't do that now. So, yeah, I'll just stay there for a while, just looking out over the sea, or not sea, air, clouds, stuff, the land below. Actually, that's a fair point.
no,
I'll
that's
see.
when you peek over their sea, you're flying over the ocean.
Oh, the
Also, now
ocean?
that you look
Okay.
over, now that you look over the side of the ship, you don't really understand how airships work. You've seen a couple of them come to the port of Whitestone, and you would notice that they all have these big crystals, but this one has no crystals at all.
Hmm.
You've seen regular ships before. This looks like a regular ship to you.
Go ship.
Interesting.
Go ship.
So I've never. So I
All makes
see that there
sense.
are no crystals like other sky ships. Like I see that
Yeah.
it's different.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. If you want to, you can go look. You can go to like the where the helm is, right under the helm where a nameplate would be for the ship, and look at the nameplate.
Whoa.
Hold on. I want to see if
I
I'm
need
going
to
to think
know the
about
name of the
that
ship.
because I'm going to
Sorry.
think about something else.
Felt like I guess I didn't ask the name of the ship. That's my own fault.
So I'm not going to think about the helm thing. I'm going to notice that there are no crystals, and then I sort of like tilt my head and I'm thinking, and I'm like, and then I'm going to wild shape into a giant spider and crawl over the edge and crawl underneath and look underneath the ship.
Okay.
It's a regular ship.
I'm just going to start like crawling along everything. I'm now inspecting this entire ship from the outside.
So when you crawl over the outside, and over the banister and on the other side of the ship, you now feel the rate at which you're moving. You feel the wind resistance push against you. And I mean, I'm not going to make you roll for it, but the ship, the way the ship is moving, and the how it feels on deck are completely different.
Do I notice anything? So you said the outside of the ship is like a normal ship, right?
Correct.
So do I notice? I'm gonna crawl literally from like the front to the back and then like side to side. I'm looking for any crystals, any like ports, anything that like
There's,
in my
there's,
mind would make
there's,
sense for stuff to happen. Or
there's
for
cannon
ways.
port. There's cannon ports. I mean, cannon doors, portholes, all the stuff that you would see on a regular, like a normal ship that sails on the ocean. It, for all intents and purposes, this is a normal ship, but it's not.
Once I notice the difference of being on deck and being underneath, I'm gonna start to play with that and like go from the back and like over the edge to like find that division and see if I can sense like a bubble or like a like a barrier and like where it's at. I want to
I
start
love it.
playing.
So literally as the edge of the banister. It's from the edge of the banister, the very end of where the banister ends and goes over the side is where the bubble is.
And how high am I able to sense it up? Like I can't really like go very far, but
You
at
don't
one
really you don't really have a perception of how it would be. You could really like if you were trained in Arcana, I'd say you can kind of figure it out, but the closest this you surmise this to be is like a bubble. It's a bubble. You don't know how big the bubble is. You just know it's a bubble.
I'm literally gonna climb the main mast and go to the very top and try, and like sort of stick my hands and try to find the bubble again on the top to see if I can.
As you do that, you see you go to the top. You in the crow's nest. You see an Aarakocra see you and start panicking like giant spider, 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 giant spider. I need to go tell you.
I literally crawl past him and just continue climbing up the very top of the mast.
Oh my gosh.
You
Wait,
know,
is he a giant spider or is he a small spider?
I'm a
he's
giant
a
spider.
he's a
Oh.
giant spider.
Oh my gosh.
I did when there's a chance, I do want to go look for some of the crew, like if they're grouping up and chatting or BSing or
First, let me
some
get
of
to
them.
this point.
Yeah. No, I'm just throwing that out there.
The Aarakocra flies down to the captain's door and like bangs on the captain's door. And the captain and nobody really sees the interaction or hears it. Well, you would, for those who don't see, for the people watching at home, the interaction is the Aarakocra banging on the door and like shouting inaudibly. The captain comes to the door, looks at him, looks up at the giant spider,
And
looks
then
at him again.
when he looks up at the giant spider, I'm literally holding on with like the back couple legs, and my front legs are like trying to like flailing through the air, trying to find the top of the bubble at the very top of the mast.
He looks down at the Aarakocra. He just hits him in the face,
Oh.
like slaps him. He pointed inaudibly. He's just like, "It's a druid." And the Aarakocra's like, "Oh." And you see the captain say, "It's the turtle," and he gets a confused look on his face. And the captain says, "Go back to your post." And the Aarakocra flies up, gets in the crow's nest, and just eyeing you the entire time, doll. The entire time. Also, when you get to the top, it's literally where the top of the mast, the main mast ends, is where the bubble ends.
So I can sense it. Now,
Yeah.
so when I go to the top and I can sense that bubble shift, right? And I'm sort of keeping an eye out. When the Aarakocra is flying, is there any flying resistance, or is he just like boop, like there's nothing there?
There's no flying resistance.
No wind resistance. Oh, interesting. Hmm. So as he's flying back up and it like lands in the nest, I just like crawl past him, and then like as I'm like even with him and he's like looking at me, I just sort of like pause, look at him, and like wave one of my little hands, and then go back down.
He awkwardly and very confused, with a very confused look on his face, just waves his claws like,
Hmm.
you see him mouth, "The fuck," and you go back down. You go to the ship. Uh, uh, Brongar, you go down. You're looking for the crew. And it seems like there's like a handful of people wandering around, keeping an eye on night duties because it's kind of late. It's like 12.
Yeah.
And they're just doing the ship check.
I'll stop the first guy I see.
Howdy, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Are there any you guys play any betting games, hang out at night, Anywhere I can
It's
have some
it's
fun.
a it's a little bit late right now, but normally in the early hours of the evening we have a little game night on board.
What's your name?
Jesse.
Did you forget your name, Jesse? Just kidding. I'm sorry. Well, I'll see you there tomorrow.
Uh, maybe. I got a lot of stuff to. I need to make sure. I just need to make sure the power reserves are staying dry and there's no damages in the cannons.
Do you need help?
Yeah. You know
Sure.
about gunpowder? You know about gunpowder, old timer?
Ooh.
Oh, do I know about gunpowder? Oh, yes. Very much so.
Mm.
What do you
You
need help
are.
with? He gets a little excited when he asks about that, if he knows.
I got a crazy idea.
I don't
I've been,
always like crazy, but
I've
what?
been, I've been thinking about ways to deal with. I like making big pops, and I want to make a big pop in case anything comes around and tries to fuck with us.
Okay.
PG-13,
You get one,
please.
DM. You get one.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
we got one. You're good.
Sorry.
He
Yeah,
likes
I
to
like to
blow
make.
stuff up.
I like to make a loud pop.
Let's go figure out how to make a loud pop.
Hold on 1 second. You go into the captain's quarters.
Did I?
Yeah.
I did.
You want to go back?
Do I want to go back for what?
You want to go back to the captain's quarters?
Why?
Don't play dumb now. You're too old to be playing that dumb.
I don't want to be on the crew. No. But I can help you out while I'm taking passage.
Captain has a strict rule about not letting outsiders in on my machinations.
Well, I'll go talk to the captain. I'm gonna turn and go talk to the captain.
Oh my
He's like, well, all right. And he goes about his duties.
Sure enough, I'm gonna go knock on the captain's door.
You wait like 5 minutes, no answer.
5 minutes. Sure. I'll keep knocking.
Is it loud?
Yeah.
Need to play a knocking sound effect here.
You hear
I won't do it like straight. I'll do it for like 10, 12 seconds.
you hear what sounds like claws against wood.
Sweet.
You see the captain open the door. How may I help you?
Well, I got and talked with your crew member, Jesse, and I'm gonna help him. That's not the right voice. Sorry, guys.
This is
I'm going
exactly
to
what the captain's doing.
Yeah. I'm going to help him blow some stuff up. Make your stuff go boom, boom louder. You know, he said you have a strict rule, but I will go crazy if I'm on the ship doing nothing. So let me help you out. Cool, thank you.
No, don't
Yes?
go to Brongar. Shattered Hearth.
Yep.
Tomorrow, under my supervision, go to bed.
I can't. You made me go through that stuff, and I can't sleep.
Would you like tea?
No.
You don't have to come in for the tea.
No. I would like to work with my hands, with some wonderful equipment that you have on the ship, I'm sure. My mind's gonna be racing this whole time. Hmm.
He
Here, hold on to these, and I'll pull out my pistols. And I'm like, these are treasured possessions you can hold on to for collateral.
he looks at you, essentially shoving the pistols into his head, and he says, he puts a finger up and he goes into the quarters, and you hear a loud bang bang. Then he comes back out and he drops 10 bent / broken swords on the ground. You can
Oh.
use the forge. Merry Christmas.
Oh, do you have any mithril on board?
No, I don't have mithril on board. Oh,
I was wondering that too.
I thought I'd ask. Okay, he'll go and fix those. How many checks do you want? You want 127? I
Oh,
don't care.
I want 10 checks.
10 checks?
He gave you 10 bent broken swords. You said you wanted to work with your hands.
You're working
If you
it now.
if you get any natural 20s,
I actually got a dirty 19. So not dirty. I got a 19 plus. What were we doing? Were we doing
I don't know if we finished
sleight of
discussing it.
hands? So I got a 24 on that one. 17. A 16. Sorry, that was upside down. A 20. No, that's cocked. 12.
Was it a natural 20?
Yes, that was a natural 20.
As you hit that sword, yeah. Firstly, you make it better than it was previously. Secondly,
Gertie.
the next two checks you don't have to roll for.
Okay.
You start getting into a groove of it.
Okay. So that'd be 7. Okay. So I got 13 on one of them. The 7th one.
Well,
9.
okay. So hold on. Well, as you get to the
And another 20. Sorry.
as you get to the last one, you hear a knock on the forge door, or the shop door, because a forge on the ship is a little bit dangerous. You hear a knock on the door.
I'll stop hammering and wait for the knock again.
Come in.
A goblin comes in. Are you the one banking?
What if I said no?
Go to sleep. We have crew members who are trying to sleep. We have shifts we need to do. Please go to sleep.
Well, if you have ships, don't you have people sleep during the day that then you can't use this at all? Doesn't make sense to me.
We have people during the day that
Mhm.
sleep. Are extremely heavy sleepers.
Oh, I'm almost done. Give me about 10 more minutes. What's your name?
He lets a growl out.
What's your name?
I am him.
You are him.
Yes, I'm him.
Well, him, catch.
And I'll toss him a gold piece.
He takes a gold piece, bites it.
Let me mark that off.
I like it. It goes up his nose.
I'm sure that can get you to sleep.
Go to sleep. He pockets a toy. Still tells you go to sleep.
I'll finish in the morning. I don't want to be super
He waits exactly 10 minutes.
No, I'd stop. I'd stop there. I'd stop.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'd finish the rest of the morning.
Thank you.
When can I start?
An
How
hour
about when
after.
you wake me up, you wait. How about when you wake up, you wake me up? Then I'll just do it.
Fine,
Sweet.
whatever.
What was your name? Oh, him. I am him, or him.
It's him. I am him. You call me him.
I am him.
Who's on
What kind of
first?
weapons do you like, him?
He turns, starts walking away.
No, him. Come here.
I'm gonna show him the one that's really, really, really well done.
He takes it, looks at it, sniffs it. Looks under the wrapping for the handle. Captain's sword, not mine. No, nope.
Oh. Which one's yours?
None of them.
Do you want one?
Oh my gosh, let the poor guy
No.
sleep.
What do you use?
Would you like to find out?
Yes.
He gets really close to you, and like almost like a whisper.
Oh no, he's gonna punch me.
He's a monk or something.
And he uppercuts you.
Okay. I don't think I deserved that, but sure. I
Once
was
your
trying to
life,
help the guy out.
if
Ah,
that was
I'll
just
go
a
to
love
sleep.
tap. That was just a love tap. I swear. If you wake up anybody on the ship right now, it'll be much worse. Go to sleep, please.
I'll give you this one for free. If you ever hit me again, you'll fully regret it.
He looks at you, takes the gold out that you handed to him, and then chucks back at you and walks away.
Hey, I stopped. He asked me to stop. I stopped. But then he punched me.
Because there's 60% of the crew that is asleep right now.
The captain should have said, "Don't do it." There's people sleeping. He didn't say that.
He was, first of all, you interrupted his sleep. Second of all, you interrupted his alone time with his loved one. And third of all, it's late at night.
It's super magical. Why isn't there soundproofing? It sounds like a horrible design.
Levi, I'm gonna strangle you. It's the ship doesn't dictate
I'm-
what's it. Look, it's the whole thing.
All right. Yeah, I'll go to sleep.
Everyone gets the benefit of a long rest.
Except for that poor goblin.
I know the goblin's the first mate. He had to steer the ship while they were asleep.
Thule,
he
did you
wasn't
try
even
and sneak
asleep.
into the captain's chamber after we left? I have to know whether
Uh-huh.
you actually tried that
Yep, I
later
want to
this
know if
night.
it works. Just gonna
When
saunter
you-
over and see if the door opens.
It does not.
Okay.
You understand the nature of the magical spell.
Mhm.
The only people allowed to go in the room are the people he deems he lets go in the room.
Hmm. Okay.
You currently not allowed in his room.
Well, when it doesn't work, I go on back down to our room and talk to Jeff. Before sleeping. I talk to Jeff a lot about the penny whistle and how much I want the penny whistle, but that it's in that place and I can't get it out. And
I'm just nodding the whole time, staring at the picture and nodding, and I'm making the appropriate sounds, but,
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I tell Jeff to remind me tomorrow, ask the captain for a real penny whistle.
Yep.
What's
Tomorrow.
a penny whistle?
It's kind of like a little metal It's kind of an Irish instrument, kind of folk instrument. That's kind of like a metal recorder in a way.
It's called Google Levi.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a whistle.
maybe I'm just trying to talk to my friends and
It's a
ask
whistle.
them.
It's a whistle made out of pennies.
Absently during this conversation, I'm like, do you think I'm related to her?
Oh, absolutely. You guys look very much alike. And she continues talking about the whistle.
Perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what I expected from Thule. I expected the question to be asked, and Thule was like, "Yeah, duh," and they continued talking about what she was talking about.
Yeah. Yep, that's the extent of the conversation. Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So next morning comes around. Uh, everyone wakes up. Brongar. You wake up to a goblin standing on your chest.
Does he hit me?
No, he's just standing there.
Oh gosh.
Am I in like a hammock?
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll over, like out of it.
he does a backflip and lands perfectly.
Thank you.
Is it time for your sleep now?
Yeah,
I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk and I'm gonna be as loud as I fucking can. Oh, I said it. I'm sorry.
PG-13. PG-13.
Loud as I frickin' can. I'm so sorry. We can bleep me out.
It's okay.
He-
Oh
he-
my gosh, that'll be fun. We need a bleep noise.
he gets up. He as he
No,
walks
I
out.
won't. I won't be as loud as I can. I don't want to.
Make an
Actually, I
enemy.
don't care. I don't care. Actually,
You see him run off into the deepest part of the ships. Like he goes deep. Looking, ducking, 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 duck sauce. I love this. This is great. Thank you, Levi. Uh, uh. So it's up to y'all if you would like to continue, or we could call it there.
I'm down for whatever.
My question is, how many more days do we have on the ship before we arrive where we're going?
3 days.
Okay.
3 days. 3 days travel left.
Okay, what does everyone want to do? Call it?
I think it's a good stopping point.
Yeah, probably. Okay, sounds good. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the D&D session number 2, presented by Garnet Gamer Girl and Senile Dwarf Games. Thank you so much, Gil, for being our DM. And
Really
thank you,
quick.
everybody else.
Just a tidbit of information.
Yes.
Because I know everyone's dying to know. The name of the ship is the Siren's Embrace.
The Siren's Embrace.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
Nice.
That's just par for the course, and what Jeffrem thinks of this whole experience now.
It is the literal.
Oh,
It's the most literal as it can be.
oh gosh. Okay,
Hmm.
sounds good. Okay, thank you everybody, and we'll see you next time. 2 weeks from now, yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
sounds
We'll
good.
be uploading it to YouTube.
Yep.
If you missed any of it and would like to go back.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
All right, thanks guys. Bye.